Welcome to Unit 3, Lesson Topic 3, using the basic percent proportion. This is an Algebra 1 class. I'm Mr. Pilarski and I'm your math teacher. Our objectives today are, I will be able to solve basic percent problems. I will be able to set up and solve word problems involving percents. Let's get this math party started. Here we are given the percent proportion. Now the percent proportion is n over 100 is equal to the part over the whole. Other textbooks use different words that have the same basic meaning. Other textbooks right here, sometimes they put the word percentage instead of the variable n. Either or doesn't really matter. The idea though is that you understand the idea of part over whole. Since you're studying algebra, you should know something about numbers and know if you get a quiz back and you get 9 out of 10, hopefully you know that's 90%. Okay, the part you got right is 9, whole is the total amount on the test, equivalent to 100 over the equivalent percent. So that's what we're going to be taking a look at. When we get into these basic percent problems, a lot of times you're going to be looking for the word is and of. Some math teachers refer to the percent proportion as is over of is equal to n over 100. It doesn't really matter which way you think of it, part over whole or is over of, or even both as you're reading the problems. That's probably best if you keep in mind both is over of and part over whole. The number next to the is the part, and the number next to the of is the whole. We're going to take a look at some of these basic percent proportions now. In example 1T, we're going to take a look at 3 basic percent problems. Problem A, 30 is what percent of 50? This breaks down into 3 very simple parts. 30 is what percent of 50? As we talked about on the previous slide, this is part over whole, or you could think of it as is over of. 30 is what percent of 50? We're solving for the percent because we're asked what percent. So we're going to solve for n. The number over 100 is the percent or the percentage. Next, we're going to set up the other side. The part over the whole is over of 30 because it's the number next to the word is, over 50 because it's the word next to the word, the number next to the word of. N over 100 is equal to 30 over 50. We solve this proportion. 50 times n is 50n. 100 times 30 is 3,000. Then we divide each side by 50. N is equal to 60. That'd be a percent, or a percentage, 60%. This is considered to be a find the percent problem. The reason that is because you're told to find the percent. Problem B says 60% of what number is 54? We still have the proportion visible here, n over 100 is equal to the part over the whole, or is over of. The percent, the number with the percent sign, always goes over 100. So that should be easy to identify, 60, so that'd be 60 over 100. Another way to write 60% is equal to 54, because is 54, and we're asked to find of what number? X. So now we solve that proportion. X times 60 is 60x. 100 times 54 is 5,400, 5,400. Divide each side by 60. x is equal to 90. So the whole in this case is 90. And we call that find the whole. Find the percent problem, find the whole problem, and if you can guess what's coming up, we're going to have find the part problem. It says, what number is, that's the question, what number is 40% of 37.5? Remember, it's n over 100 equal to is over of, or part over whole. We're given the percent 40%, so 40 over 100 is equal to what number x is. What number is, so that tells us x of 3750, or 37.5. Then we do the cross products there. 37.5 times 40 is 1,500. 100 times x is 100x. Divide each side by 100. That gives us x is equal to 15. So this is a find the part problem. In example 2t, we're going to be problem solving with percents, and specifically going to be working with commissions. As a part of his pay, Mr. Oliars, a car salesman, is given a commission, which is a percentage of the price for the car he sells. The rates are in the table to the left. If he sells a car worth $15,700, how much does he earn in commission? Well, we got to understand this table. Mr. Oliars is going to earn for the first $12,000 of any car he sells, or any car under $12,000, he's going to earn 5% of that. So what that turns into is for any car $12,000 or below, it's going to be 5%. So in this case, since this car he sold, $15,700, is greater than $12,000, we know he's going to earn 5% of $12,000. The thing we have to figure out is what portion over $12,000 is this car? Well, this car, if we subtract $15,700 and $12,000, that should be some pretty easy subtraction for you. Gives you $3,700. That's that portion. So the portion over $12,000 is $3,700 in this case. So he's going to earn 2% of that. So he's going to earn 2% of $3,700. These two things should add up to the cost of the car. So if we get into now solving this problem, hopefully that you understand that he's going to earn 5% for any car up to $12,000 and 2% on any portion over $12,000. So that breaks down into these two basic percent proportions, or two basic percent problems. So we need to set up and solve them now. I'm going to set up and solve one here. I'm going to set up and solve one here. 5% of 12,000. Well, that's a find a part problem. 5% of 12,000. So it's going to be 5 over 100, using that percent proportion, equal to x over 12,000. Now, why do I know 12,000 goes in the denominator? Because it's next to the word of. It's 5% of 12,000 is what number? So that's why we have the x in the place of the part, or the is. So when we solve this proportion, 12,000 times 5 is 60,000. 100 times x is 100x. Divide each side by 100. Cancel off two zeros really to do that. X is equal to $600. Now that's only one part of his commission. He gets 2% of the remaining $3,700. And 2% of $3,700 is a find the part problem that we just talked about. And that'd be 2 over 100, 2%, is equal to x over 3,700. Solve that with cross products. 3,700 times 2, 7,400. 100 times x to give 100x. Dividing each side of that by 100. That gives us x is equal to $74. So what we have to do is we have to add these two numbers together to get the final answer here. We have to take the 600. We have to add to it the 74. And that gives us a grand total for selling that one car of $674.